Okay, and we are live with the Spin That Back show. So let's go ahead and get this started. So once again, we're back with the Spin That Back show, the last show of the year 2025. You got me, Mr. El Pooh, the infamous. We got Mr. Nice Guy on here, and we're gonna end this year by celebrating one of my favorite producers of all time. In fact, let me turn this off real quick. One of my favorite producers. Now, when I think about rap producers, I got an order of time of rap producers. When I became really familiar with rap producers, my favorite producer started off as Marley Marl.
That's a good one right there.
Yes, sir. And then after Marley Marl, it went to Dr. Dre. And Dr. Dre actually came in after NWA, Eazy-E. And after he did the DOC whole album, he became like my favorite producer at that time. And then I started realizing that Erick Sermon was doing so much stuff after he did, the Redman album. I realized he was doing a lot of stuff for EPMD and stuff like that. And then he became one of my favorite producers. And that's what we're going to talk about today, Erick Sermon as a producer. What's going on, Mr. Nice Guy?
Chilling, man. Very interested to see how this is going to play out, man. Erick Sermon, it's amazing how much more he was involved behind the scene that I knew. You know what I'm saying? It's like once I go and revisit and go back and realize that, it's sort of like how I listened to Mobb Deep and didn't know that the dude that was creating the tracks was Havoc. You know what I'm saying? And that Shook Ones is arguably the greatest hip hop song of all time, production wise. You know what I'm saying? It's just as far as a clever thing, but I'm just saying that it's amazing to hear what Erick Sermon was this person doing all of this stuff, and just great discography. So salute to E-Double.
Yes, sir. Oh, and one more thing I had to say too. I'm gonna throw this man up in there as an honorable mention because I didn't realize he was doing all the production. Was Q-Tip for Tribe Called Quest.
As I was saying that, I just didn't want to go on too long, but I said, yeah, I didn't realize that Q-Tip was that guy either. I thought that DJ, I forgot what his name is, but
Ali Shaheed Muhammad.
Yeah, I thought he was probably the producer. So then you find out that Q-Tip was that guy, and Tribe Called Quest, man, them beats, man, they were the masters of layered drums. So salute to Tip, and salute to Tribe.
Because when you think about producers back in the day, you used to just automatically think that the DJ was the producer. Like, you think like that Jazzy Jeff was producing Fresh Prince. And maybe, in fact, even with EPMD, I thought the DJ was the producer. Same thing with Tribe Called Quest. I thought Ali Shaheed was the producer. I thought Cut Creator was LL's producer. I'm just we real young in the game, didn't really understand everything that was going on and everything until you start reading the stuff. Like when I got LL's Bad album, it says produced by the LA Posse. It was like, oh, LA Posse. Then I figured out DJ Pooh and Bobcat. They was all part of the LA Posse and doing production and everything. But this is when I'm really started getting into the side of production and who was doing what, and started producing myself and everything. So you kind of delve into that a little bit. But which brings us back to who we talking about again today, Mr. Erick Sermon, the Green Eye Bandit himself. And the reason why I want to talk about him is because, he did a whole lot of good production on the hip hop tip, like bringing people like Redman to the forefront, Keith Murray. Really those two, those two in itself, when they made the Def Squad, it was unstoppable. It was a thing going on. And Erick Sermon back in from 92, 93, 94, around up in there, 95 maybe. He was like the go-to producer for a lot of people. He was doing a lot of remixes and a whole lot of stuff. So let's back it up a little bit. Going back and say, he, like we said, he started off with EPMD. He just, I think
it's my turn. It's my turn. That was the first single. It's my turn, and then it was it's my turn. It's my thing, and then it's your customer, and then So yeah.
You got to chill.
Yep.
Yeah, and that whole album, Strictly Business, great album. So, and Erick did a lot. I think PMD did some tracks on there too. they said they came together because PMD, P had like the funk records, like the more bounce and stuff like that. And Eric had the like the cheap sunglasses, the one that's used for you guys to chill, the doo doo. You know what's crazy? Jay Walker had told me one time a couple of years ago, he was like, that was a sample. I'm like, that's not a sample. I thought they had played that. But then I found out it was a sample. I went and listened. I'm like, oh, it's called Cheap Sunglasses. It's by ZZ Top. Never heard of the song. I know who ZZ Top is, though. Never heard this song before. But Erick Sermon said he was like into like alternative music, like in rock music and stuff like
The
that.
Steve Miller Band. That's
Steve
where he
Miller.
got the that's where he got the time keeps on slipping. So yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it's also used for do what's that?
No, that's time keeps
Nobody
on
beats the
slipping.
biz. Nobody beats the biz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you know, it's also a Tribe Called Quest. Check the rhyme. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom.
Oh yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They just basically, that sounds like they sampled that directly from Marley, right? You're saying that the Nobody Beats the Biz, or you're saying that that's from the original song?
They probably sampled it from the original song, or they could have took the sample, but you can just do it, like on the MP, you just keep on hitting it, keep that same effect. But yeah. Oh, here comes Mr. Walk. Mr. Walk is in the house.
What up, fellas?
Mr. Walk, what's going on with you, bruh? I was just letting Mr. Nice Guy know that you was the one that told me that You Guys to Chill was a sample. The doo-doo.
Yeah. No, you're a customer.
I mean, you're a customer, excuse me. You're a customer. I'm like,
time keep on slipping.
I know time.
Yeah,
I know that part right there. Of course, I knew that right there. But I didn't know that the actual beat was actually
the bass line, the thing that Jodeci used as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds exactly. If you listen to it, it sounds exactly like they didn't even change nothing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the thing back then. You pretty much were just looping. So you didn't get to chop until you were getting sued. And then you were trying. That's when you were trying to just use as little as much and then make it seem as different as you could. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I think the Bomb Squad was the ones that really started chopping up stuff like nobody else at the time. Well, actually, you know what? Paul C too. Paul C was doing a lot of good stuff too.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, but Erick Sermon did do a lot of sampling. In fact, let's go on to like after EPMD and everything. The next person he actually produced was like Redman's first album. Let's say he produced mostly that whole album, because I think Redman might have did a couple of tracks on there itself. But you start with that album right there. One of the greatest samples was that Tonight's the Night, right?
Oh yeah, that's that one. Damn.
Y'all know what that sample is?
No.
I had a box of cassettes. Somebody had left a Isaac Hayes cassette over there. And I listened to the whole thing, and I heard that song on there. I'm like, whoa, it's Isaac Hayes. It's called A Few More Kisses to Go. I'm like, damn. But Erick Sermon just sampled that up. Man, that was a clever ass sample. And it's been used over and over, like Blackstreet and a whole lot of other people that sampled that same old beat too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hilarious when you see when you don't expect it, and then you hear the source of where a lot of these samples come from. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the stuff is obscure. Some of the stuff is coming out of like the stack of beat breaks that a lot of the DJs had back early in the days. But a lot of that stuff is obscure. So salute to those dudes that find it. That was the whole digging in the crates thing. That you tried to be that guy to find something everybody else didn't have. So salute to that.
Yeah. Or you take something that somebody didn't already did and just flip it over,
do something different.
But the best thing about Erick Sermon productions are, like we were saying, You a Customer. That's been used by so many people. It's been sampled. He said he gets about 240,000 every 3 months from somebody that actually sampled it recently. What I mean by recently was like within the last 10 years or whatever. But he said he's still making like damn near $1 million a year off that, just that one sample.
Residuals.
Right.
That's the beauty of being a producer. You know what I'm saying? You tend to get more of that to eat off of. Artists tend to eat off the tours. Producers can eat off the songs. So that's what's up.
Yeah, that's what messed up with Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Pete Rock was out there making his money, as a producer. CL Smooth needed to be on the road to make his money.
Yeah.
But that's something that Erick Sermon spoke about as well, when he said, as far as like producing and these songs, these classic songs that they made years ago, he's worried about today's generation. He's like, how are these dudes going to eat in 20 years? How are they going to eat? Making all this trash music. We're not going to be listening to a lot of that bullshit that's coming out, all these quick songs that flash in the pan stuff. In 20 years, these dudes are going to be older, in their 40s and 50s. What are they going to be doing? Because like Erick Sermon, he get them residual checks for songs and productions, and every now and then they do a show if he wants to, if it makes financial sense. But he's very concerned about that, and that kind of hit me hard just to hear about that. Like how, like I'm like, how are they going to eat? Like if you're not like a Kendrick Lamar or a Drake or Future that put out some real good music in this era right now, what you gonna be doing in 40 years? What you gonna be still talking about the trap house and the bitches and hoes? Yeah.
Well, the good thing about that, or I should say, it's not the good thing, is that a lot of those people don't live, so that kind of solves that problem. So it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
Let me say this much. Erick Sermon is like the blueprint of what a producer should be, because he's been doing it for a long time and he's still doing it and he's still putting out quality music. Now, you can say Premier is a hell of a producer, which he is, you know what I'm saying? But Premier is he's more or less a boom bap hip hop dude, you know what I'm saying? He did do an album with Christina Aguilera, but it was I didn't even hear the whole thing, but I heard that one song. It was dope. It was dope, but it just didn't really fit. You know what I'm saying? But Erick did some R&B stuff and everything too. A whole lot of remixes back in the 90s. He did a lot of remixes, like for Blackstreet and Tony Braxton and a whole lot of other people. Alfonso Hunter and that other dude that was from Blackstreet. I can't even think of his name right now.
Damn.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue too. But
Paul.
But he made some,
Dave Hollister.
Dave Hollister. He made some R&B stuff that sounded actually good.
Wow.
Dre did the same thing, but the thing about Dre only puts out even songs with people just sporadically. We was talking about The Game the other day, right? We was talking about how Dre I was saying this. My whole point was Game wouldn't be who he is today if it wasn't for Dre. Period.
I mean, he released him, right? I mean, that's a big, he's a big part of that, I mean,
and once he started working with Dre, he kind of it didn't do the same.
His whole business model was kind of messed up, because then he made it, for whatever reason, he decided to be an enemy of 50. And once he became an enemy of 50, and Dre and him, and they're fully invested in 50, that basically made you persona non grata. You know what I'm saying? That was against your financial interests. Not to mention he was such a troll and a dominant force in the game. It just like that, that was crippling. He said it. He goes, "Look, man, if I had never done that, we'd have probably just made millions together." And that's probably true. Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm messing up over here. Let me spin this back one time. We got to get back to Erick Sermon. Now, his first album that I know that he actually produced most of was Redman. What the Album. To me, this is one of the best albums that ever came out ever in hip hop. If I could listen to it all the way through, front to back. Great album. He had great lyrics, great production. It was funny. He had skits and everything. Everything.
Superman lover.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
That right there, just even Superman lover. Just listen to that song. I knew the song, but I didn't really know the song. But after I heard that right there, I had to go back and listen to the song. Like, man, this was just genius. I know a whole lot of people that heard that, and why didn't nobody actually loop that before? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Actually, if you did, you probably wouldn't have did the same, because he just put that together so well. And then he put that James Brown up in there, and then went back to it to end the song. hell of a story. And then they ended it up with that all around the world for the phone, just that little instrumental part.
Mhm.
Dope album, dope album, dope album. Erick Sermon did that. How'd y'all feel about that first Redman album when you first heard it?
What was that, 94? That shit was tight. Was that, I think it was 94.
92.
92, yeah. It was tight. I didn't have it. I never had it. I didn't buy it, but I definitely heard it, borrowed it. I used to borrow tapes and shit. But yeah, it was classic. I thought Redman was gonna be like an LL Cool J. You know what I mean?
And he is like LL Cool J.
Think about it. This is the dude that Eminem says is the greatest rapper of all time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's Eminem that's saying that. That's that's a lot of cachet right there. So that lets you know that Redman is that dude. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just to be this first project, with Erick just to put in the work and just really, what was so great about that era? It wasn't just enough to just put out a song, but just an album was really sort of like a big a total organism where you you put your little skits, you put your little this, and of course there was a time where you weren't really worried about paying for all these samples, so you can really go crazy and stuff and just and pile all these things in there. But yeah, no, they're really an absolute work of art and sort of just like a capture of that moment in time, just what was going on, just where everybody was, so it's dope.
Okay. So I'll say he is like LL Cool J because of his consistency, and he's still making stuff today. Because if you listen to the stuff he be dropping on the internet and everything, it still sounds good, real good. He got his own style. He never deviated from his style. He got those punchlines. I like Redman's one of my favorite rappers, period. Straight up. But Erick Sermon actually put him in position to do that, though. Now, he also put Keith Murray in position too, but Keith Murray just something going on with that dude psychologically, or with the drugs or whatever the case is.
He didn't have a personality, anyways. That the big part of what Redman was, he really got that personality. That it's not just enough that he's a dope rapper. It's not just enough that he's got a dope cadence. It's not enough that he's got dope lyrics. It's not enough that he's witty and whatever. But he's got a whole lot of personality. It's a whole package. You know what I'm saying? So that's a tough place for Keith Murray to compete with. He's a solid dude.
When you heard Keith Murray, you probably heard him on Hostile on EPM. On Erick Sermon's album.
Yeah.
But when you heard that most beautifulest thing in the world, when I first heard that, I was like, this is the dopest. And then it was just that he just took that, like you say, he just took the loop, the Isley Brothers and everything. And at that time,
he just took the name. He just went with the name. I was one of the first guys that just was like, my name is just my name. I'm not, what I'm saying? Everybody's got their little pasta noose or whatever and stuff like that. And he's just like, yeah, nah, it's Keith Murray.
Right. Well, he's coming under Erick Sermon, so he used his own name. So it makes sense.
Erick Sermon, but he is already out there as EMD and E double and the great. What I'm saying? He already had a bunch of aliases before he just sort of like trademarked, just lent into just using his name. But I mean, this is a dude that pretty much that's all you heard. At least that's all I heard.
Right. Yeah.
Keith Murray gets busy off of Basic Instincts. What? Keith Murray was a bad mother effer, bro. I used to love Keith Murray. Keith Murray that's why I used to smoke weed. Perfect listening to fucking Keith Murray. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the song he had, like he go to Mars and battle MCs and shit. That shit was like, that was perfect. And that's all produced by E Double, the Green Eyed Bandit. Hell yeah, that was great.
Hey, remember Mobb Deep said, man, these niggas with all that spaceship shit, I'm gonna punch one of them niggas in somebody. I think they said something like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's why they got into it. Y'all know they had a squabble, right?
Yeah, in the snow.
Yeah.
That's probably not a good idea for them.
Right.
Yeah, because Prodigy got beat up a whole bunch of times, as far as I heard.
If you read his book, he did a whole lot of fighting and won a whole lot of fights.
Yeah, they said his book is not very true. his book, that book is the reason why they keep defaming his mural out there in Queens. You know what I'm saying? Yes, because they were saying he snitched, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff. So, but yeah, not to mention the fact that he wasn't actually from the bridge, Queens Bridge. So there's there's a mixed reception of the legacy of Prodigy in Queens.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we think of him as Queens. He big up Queens. He was a champion for Queens. You know what I'm saying? And a dope. I don't care what about happened in his. He was a dope ass rapper. You know what I'm saying? Dope ass contributor to the culture. But you know, again, I'm an outsider looking in, and I didn't know that he wasn't actually from Queens. You know, Havoc was from Queens. He visited.
No, I think he was from Long Island. I heard actually.
He wasn't from the projects. He wasn't from the projects.
From the bridge, the bridge,
the Queensbridge projects.
No, he actually lived a pretty pampered life. You know what I'm saying? He had it pretty good.
Hey, some of them rappers did Biggie, but you know that doesn't take away from what they were. You know, some of these cats is still dope ass, and they people still got involved in the game. You know, some you know the street game. So it just was what it was.
All right, let's get back to spin that back to Erick Sermon. When you first heard Erick Sermon rapping, when I first heard him rapping, he was the sleepy one. Like, relax your mind, bitch.
He was dragging. He was
that list.
Dragging.
He got a list. Talk with a lisp. But that made his style tight too. You know what I mean? Like my favorite is one of the tracks from Erick Sermon when he's spitting is Get the Bozak P. You know what I'm saying? Like Get the Bozak, that song is hard because it's more up tempo and he's spitting and he flowing with the beat and they're going back and forth. Like he used that to his advantage the way he talked. Like, you know, that's something like he probably grew up as a kid getting clowned about, but he used it to his advantage. It was part of his rap style. Loved it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he really stepped it up around the second and third album. He really stepped up his rap game and everything.
Yeah.
And because I thought P was the man, then I started listening to Erick.
He was the man. He was the man, and Erick Sermon evolved beyond him. That's why I look at Karis One. To me, Karis One was a dude that was a dope dude from the beginning, but this dude somehow managed to evolve and get better and still, you know what I'm saying, just to stay on top, to go beyond what he was. And Erick Sermon, the cadence, the energy, like in the beginning, like you said, he was really super laid back and whatever. Then you got to the part where he just like, I mean, he's, you know, young for his type of thing. It'd be like the equivalent of yelling for him, you know what I'm saying? Just high energy guy, high just, you know, cadence, you know, presentation guy. So yeah, he figured it out.
Okay, then EPMD broke up and they formed their own little thing, Def Squad. You still had the Def Squad, and then you had you had Def Squad and you still had the Hit Squad, which was PMD's, which was what PMD, Das Effects, and K Solo. And Redman, Erick Sermon, and Keith Murray eventually was Def Squad. Then by 93, whoa, hold on, not that one. Hold on. Yeah, by 93, Erick Sermon had released his first album, No Pressure.
All in the mind. It's all in the mind. That was my shit right there.
But before that came out, he came out with a single, Hitting Switches. It was on one of those soundtracks back in the day. I forgot which one it was on.
Hey, Who's the Man or something? Or
Probably was. But when I first heard that, I was like, yo. And you know what? It's crazy. You know, he used the exact same beat that Lords of the Underground they used for Funky Chop. Y'all remember Funky Chop?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Hidden Switches was on Who's the Man. Ooh, that Who's the Man. That Who's the Man soundtrack, man. Woo.
Oh yeah.
Party of bullshit.
Yeah, man.
Who's the Man? House of Pain, man.
I was anticipating Biggie. I'm like, this dude is tight. like when they stopped the party, and it was like you could just picture that whole song. Like, yeah, that's just drifting off real fast, but yeah. But that was on that soundtrack, Hidden Switches, Erick Sermon. Love that song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I heard Erick Sermon actually solo. I was like, yo, that was hard. But anyway, like I said, that beat right there is the same thing that they had used for Lords of the Underground, though. The drum line and the bass line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But anyway, that was dope though. So his first album came out. You're right, all in the mind. It was some cuts on here, right?
Yeah.
The Bomb Diggy was the Bomb Diggy on? No, the Bomb Diggy was on another one, right?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to it.
Yeah,
My
let me
memory
pull
is
it up.
not very good.
Yeah, mine not either, actually. But let me pull this one up.
Payback 2, Stay Real. I'm gonna get mines.
Stay Real.
Yep.
Stay Real. That was the one right there.
Safe Sex. I like that video. Remember Safe Sex? That song is on there. Let's have Safe Sex. That shit was I forgot about. I gotta put this in my I think that's when he first moved down to Atlanta too, because that video was shot in Atlanta at his house in Atlanta. Safe Sex. Yeah.
Oh, and he had Cube on here too. The ill shit.
Oh yeah, Cube Cam. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Doc. Goddamn, not Cam. So I'm afraid. Oh, I lay low. Something he said. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was man. That was the days. I had that album. I used to bump this album actually all the time. Mac, this was a banger.
Yeah. 93. So
after that came Muddy Waters. No, not Muddy Waters. The Dark Side. Redman. There's a Dark Side, which to me was like a slow album to me, but it was, Erick Sermon did some stuff on there. Can't Wait. I think he did that. What did y'all think about that song when you heard it?
I can't remember. I gotta hear it.
I have to remember.
Damn, y'all ain't. Oh man, damn. Hold on, I'm gonna
Can't wait.
Yeah, I think that was like the big song on that album. I mean, it was other songs on there I like personally, but I think that was like the one that was like really released. Let me see. What the album? There's a Dark Side. Or Rockefeller was actually the big one, actually.
Rockefeller.
Do y'all remember Can't Wait?
Yeah, if you play it, I'll probably remember it, but yeah.
Can you hear that?
Possibly a lot of rain this afternoon with thunderstorms.
Can y'all hear that?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Somebody said, motherfucker. We're gonna set it off.
Y'all remember that song?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's dope. Yeah, that's dope, man.
Erick Sermon on production, of course.
Yeah.
I think this was a great album, but it was kind of like slept on. Then Muddy Waters did come out. What was that? About 96 or something like that, 97?
Yeah. Okay.
Got up in there.
Nah, Walk don't remember the year. We definitely ain't got no shot.
Okay. I have to hear it, picture it.
Y'all must not been big Redman fans, obviously.
I just wouldn't buy it. I didn't buy it. No.
Yeah. This was during that time where I was really not trying to listen to too much other people's stuff, so as not to unduly influence my own stuff. As a DJ, I get stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I get all type of stuff, but I mean, I would just play like the hits, as far as at a function or something like that. But yeah, a lot of this stuff, I may have heard it one time and thought it was real dope and then pivot on to the next thing. So sadly, when I listen to an album, if one song is really great, I just kind of lock in on that one song and I kind of disrespect the rest of the album. That's a bad habit of mine, but
All right. Remember Shaq had a song called I'm Outstanding?
Yep.
Yeah.
Erick Sermon.
Whoa. Wow.
Let me say this too. Shaq is probably the best athletic rapper.
I agree. I mean, he's definitely the most successful. I mean, I've heard people that might have arguably greater skill, but I mean, as far as the ones that actually did it, I mean, he's on a song. As far as I'm concerned, is probably the greatest athlete song is the What's Up, Doc. You know what I'm saying? That song to me, it gets me so hyped every single time. Like it's just, I'm just just the track is just I love that. Bruce Nickens.
Yeah.
Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu. Oh man, spin that back one time. Where we at?
So you talk about Muddy Waters. What was the next after Muddy Waters? I don't mean to be jumping, but just what was the next?
For a Redman after Muddy Waters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it was probably Doc's the Name.
There is a dark side, Muddy Waters. Doc's the Name. You right? Yep.
Yeah, Doc's the Name. That was like 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when we're getting outside of our spectrum. Because
Yeah,
there was definitely that one album that I really gravitated. That's when I sort of like started working my way back to Redman, but that's outside of our spectrum. But I don't remember what the title was, but I'd recognize the cover. But yeah, it's just, man.
But he basically, if not, did the whole Keith Murray album, The Most Beautifulest Thing.
Which is a classic song. I mean, it was literally one of the biggest songs, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just the even the terminology, the most beautifulest thing.
like think about it. This is something I alluded to earlier. Keith Murray still eats off of that song.
Yeah.
It's a classic song.
If you call him to perform, and he do that, you satisfied. He don't have to make no new music. I hope he ain't making no more new music.
Ouch. Shoot, he'll do a whole thing for $20. Word to that video, but yeah. But sorry about that, man.
Salute to Keith Murray.
Now he's doing a lot better. I saw him on a video on interview like about a good year ago with Willie D. Looks like he was doing all right at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Erick Sherman had told a story like with Keith Murray, like he was like Puff Daddy loved him some Keith Murray as far as how he rapped everything. He wanted to sign Keith Murray, but he like, that's my artist. That's why on a lot of them remixes, Keith Murray is on there. He going in with the what's that remix they have? It's a few of them that he's on from Puff Daddy. But
but on Mary J. Blige My Life album, on the actual song My Life, he actually at the beginning of that rapping.
Yeah. He will always call Erick Sherman to get Keith Murray on, get him on there, get it going. Yeah. But
that was the only time he called Erick Sherman. Is that the other time when he caught him, you know, swinging on him.
Now, this story don't make no sense. Now he rolling up with what ended up being Puffy's baby mama,
China.
What was her name?
China, light skin.
Maybe was light skin. Maybe she had a different name. That doesn't vibe.
Well, bro, that's in the big video. In the big video in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
On here.
Yeah.
Misa.
Misa.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
China. Yeah.
Yeah, the same one they took.
Wait, but let's get to that story. To me, that story makes a lot of sense.
Thank you, Walk.
Hold on, let's talk about
it. You make your case, El Poo, and then Walk. You're gonna basically make my case.
So Erick Sherman been knowing her, so he rolled up and Puffy seen her in the car, and I guess she was in the driver's seat, and he came over to the passenger side or something like that, and supposed to have swung at him. Now I don't know if they got out the car when he swung at him or whatever the case is, but Erick was like, let's go around the corner. So they jumped in the car. Now I'm thinking when you jump in the car, y'all having words while y'all rolling around the corner. But this nigga just said, you know, fuck you, nigga. But you know what? Do this. Look, I got a CD for you. Put the CD in. They go like that.
This makes sense to me because now they was at Misa's house. That's where they was parked in front of it. She lived there. That's where Erick Sherman. He explained that on, I think, Drink Champs or one of them. Oh, the Breakfast Club. He explained it. She lived there, so he got back into the driver's seat. Puff got in. I could understand. She knew that was her dude. He didn't want to do him grimy in front of her like that. That makes perfect sense to me. Let's go around the club, about to beat the shit out of you. And he put in the biggie, and it kind of threw him off. Like, oh, shit, okay. I don't want to hurt this nigga, but you know what I'm saying? That to me, it kind of makes sense. I kind of believe the story.
Okay, yeah. It's just holes in there. I just don't understand. But let me.
I mean, think about it. He basically said it. Look, that's just like saying, let's go step outside or let's go whatever and have a fade. This is between you and me. It's not we're not performing for nobody else. We're just gonna be some man shit. We're just gonna handle it. So the bottom line and the way to handle it, you know, Puffy wasn't really about that. So he was just like, yo, man, I got this Biggie album, you know what I'm saying? He kind of diffused the situation because he probably wasn't gonna win. Hey, there have been a few times where he said that basically Puff was like, I just go over there and punch that person. I just whatever. It don't take a lot to really go over there and swing or punch somebody. It takes a lot to beat somebody's ass. And that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. So
I don't know what it would take for me to put somebody in my back seat that I'm having an argument with, getting ready to put some hands on, and we drive around the corner.
It's on site. It's on site.
Yeah, I can't.
You swing on me right there and there. It's on site. We're not going nowhere.
I'm finna park around the corner. You come on over here with me. Come on over here and let's go have a discussion.
On site. He swung. The fight and started already.
Okay. Yeah, you ain't getting in the car with me. That don't make sense. Sitting behind me too.
It makes sense. Yeah, but it makes sense. But yeah, I get it. People are different.
Yeah. Well.
And look. Erick Sermon looked like he was trying to be a decent person about it. So that's the big thing. Also, he's a big, humongous dude. So, he just like, look, we're going to do this. Let's go talk outside of the performance, outside of the other eyes. Let's just do, some man stuff. And then it bees what it bees. But I get what you're saying. But I just feel like you get the vibe that Erick Sermon was like, didn't want to just destroy the dude right then and there. And Puffy was probably more about bluster, with all due respect.
Right. He was mad. Chickens in the car with E double. You know what I mean? Yeah. I believe the story.
Okay. Well, he got a whole lot of stories. You heard the story where he was out there somewhere in New York and got robbed. I think he was in Staten Island, actually.
Oh, yeah. He got set up, too, by a chick. I'll go ahead, tell her. Yeah.
He got lined up.
Well, he got lined up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he was saying he was I think it was in Staten Island, went in to see some female. Some dude was like dressed like a woman and everything, came in,
Ouch.
Pulled out on him. His little Benzie box, his little pull-out radio. Remember, we had the pull-out radios back in the day. He had the pull-out radio. Dude took the radio and took all his money. And I think he thought the old girl had set him up and everything.
But that's silly. That was stupid to take the radio, the pull-out, because you got to have the system. You got to have it.
Well, I was about to say, Walk, there was a difference because there was a time where you pulled out the whole radio. There was a time that you were walking around, not the faceplate. They got smart and then did it where you can pull out the faceplate. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is those cats, you pulling out the whole damn radio. So now you were rock and roll. You had all you needed. So take advantage of it. Let's think about it. We was carrying around. You was carrying around radios, dude, like like a purse or something. That was a crazy time, man.
I used to pull mine out and put it under the seat. I'm not walking around.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Yeah, but I like the fact that he even humble enough to even tell that story to say, he got robbed and everything instead of trying to be like P, Prodigy, in his book, won every fight and everything, never took a loss ever.
Are you talking about Joey Crack, who had the whole gym, He stole that shit and made them.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, you talking about something you don't believe, Elpo? I call bullshit on that one, right?
That's crazy.
He's entertaining. They
would have jumped his ass. Once he got to his location, they would have jumped his
Yeah, he entertaining. Yeah, he better at doing this podcast than he is in acting, that's for sure. He's choking me.
Love those guys. They're great. They're a great personality, great whatever. So yeah.
But like I said, Erick Sermon, I was saying, he like the blueprint of what a producer should be. You know what I'm saying? Because he stayed in his lane, kept doing his beats and everything, worked with all kinds of artists. Actually got artists from being just a regular artist to being a superstar. Like Redman, to me, is a superstar in rap as far as rap goes. And then he does everything else. He's just got that personality to do that type of stuff.
And he's part of a superstar group. I mean, EPMD is like, when you talk about Run DMC and stuff like that, EPMD is one of them groups. So, his resume is thorough. You know what I'm saying? So,
speaking of that, Erick Sermon in his interview, he spoke on how he don't do shows with PMD. Right. He said it's not worth it because they're getting 15,000 to split, and so that's 7,000. He's like, it's not worth it unless they're getting 15,000 a piece. Then he broke. You remember how he broke down with KRS-One and guys like that, how they are getting like 15, 20,000 a show a year. Like they making like $1 million a year off of just going around the country doing old ass songs. Man, that's a beautiful thing right there, man. Like a lot of these artists who we haven't seen in years, and we wondering why they're not putting music out. They don't have to. They were in Europe making money. Like how where they had Cocaine was out there making money in Amsterdam. Yeah.
You'd be mad you go to a show and they just perform a bunch of new stuff and you be like, hey.
You better not. You better fucking not.
No, I love that when I see like those shows, you know, where it's like, oh, this group is performing, that group is performing. Shoot, I'd be like, man, you know, if I get a hall pass, you know, I'd definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man got a catalog and everything, so he's still eating off his catalog and everything. And what's even better is people are actually sampling his music still to this day, and he's still getting paid off that.
Man, beautiful thing.
And the thing is, like I said, he work a whole lot faster than Dre. He's like the East Coast Dre. And
everybody works faster than Dre. Like
That's
everybody literally works faster than Dre.
Can't argue with that right there. That's the truth. But yeah, you know, he stay. You know, who else does that? Quick is the other producer. I gotta give him credit. You know, and everything. That boy right there was a workaholic back in the day. He did a whole lot of stuff uncredited, and you know,
he plays a lot of stuff though, right? I mean, he's not just like doing a whole bunch of sampling, right? I mean, or maybe he might. I don't know if he's like Quincy Jones and just getting people to do it, but I mean, his stuff is that's what I'm saying. He's actually doing more. I mean, the sample game is a game that I respect. That's real production. That's real work. Like I said, what Havoc did with Shook Ones is art. It is absolute work. You know what I'm saying? But then you got these other dudes that actually can literally play all of this stuff, and you know they can do some other things. You know,
I forgot who said this, but they said Havoc was going to actually erase that beat. He didn't like it.
What?
I forgot who actually made that quote and said he didn't even like the beat at first.
Wow.
It's dangerous, man. The world almost just lost. I felt like Ben Kenobi when he sensed that, you know, Alderaan got blowed up, man. It's just like that'd have been a tragic loss, you know what I'm saying? But But that's the thing about it. You know, when you're real close to something, you know, it doesn't hit you like someone who just hears it all together fresh. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're as a producer, you saw every little piece come together, then it comes together. You're so close to it, but then you're like, hey, Walk, check this out. Walk is like, damn, that shit is like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's getting it fresh. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't throw away a whole lot of beats like that too, or getting ready to.
Saying. Can't do that, man. You can't just, hey, like we talked about with Primo, you ain't got to use him and do a whole album with Nas with him, but still keep him.
Oh, that was a low blow right there.
Nas, how the hell did you unbeat Primo? What the hell, man?
Man, we respect Nas and Primo. We love what y'all doing and everything.
We
but you know, like I said, you gotta listen to Nas. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta kind of like ignore the beat a little bit and just listen to
That's effing sad, but it's true. He's Nas, you are that dude. Primo, you still that dude as far as I'm concerned. I was terribly disappointed with that project.
Yes, sir. And just to speak on, you know, Erick Sermon do got a whole new project out there right about now. It's called The Duos, something like that. Dynamic Duos, actually. It's called, the Dynamic Duos. He got a track with, I just heard this on the internet a couple of weeks ago with MOP called Sidewalk Executives. And it sounds just like a MOP track too. So
is that really a duo?
Well, it's like him as a producer, I guess, with, you know, the groups that he worked.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That's what I think that would be. Because, you know, he got a whole album with, you know, just nothing but features, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you got MOP, Method Man, Redman, of
Another
course.
classic song of a classic song, Anti Up. I don't care what anybody say. Wherever they perform, they got to do Anti Up. Them the rules.
Yeah. Some people are controlled by certain stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's what that is. And you know, you got Snoop on there, Nate Dogg. Damn, you must have some old Nate Dogg stuff. Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, and other, I guess.
That's a nice
Dog
collection.
Pound, Salt and Pepper. No, I'm looking at it right here.
Okay,
No,
there you
that's
go.
Salt and Pepper. You know what? I'm about to go get that. I'm about to download that. I'm gonna purchase that after the show. That's way too many people to not be giving props to.
Helter Skelter.
Damn, that's what up. Le Fleur.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is. So like I said, this is the last show of 2025. Y'all got anything to say about what went on in hip hop this year? Like, oh yeah, let's give props to the old school.
Oh man, old school's been showing the youngsters how to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's been great, man. I've been purchasing albums. I'm not talking about streaming. I want them to get whatever, and it's been great. I probably bought more albums this year than I bought maybe any year. You know what I'm saying? That's just
hey, salute to you for doing that and you know, to support the artists, but I can't join you on that, man. Like, I ain't bought no music since 2012. Last CD I bought was Kendrick Lamar. I had to buy that Tangible CD. I bought Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Bad City, and that was the last time I bought an album. Sorry, that's just the truth. They gotta think of something else to do, man. They gotta think of something else for them to get their money. Sorry.
The last physical album that I ever bought was Tribe Called Quest. They sold that at Best Buy. That one that they came out with just a few years ago. That they actually sold that at Best Buy. So I was like, I'm actually about to buy a physical. So yeah, that was it. Everything else been digital.
Yeah.
Last thing I probably bought was probably something like Love Jones or something way back in the day.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, as a DJ, that was the thing about it. I was getting all the music back in the days, but I wasn't paying for it because I was just getting it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. But yeah, I definitely bought more albums than I probably ever bought in any particular year. Wait,
it just came to me. Who was talking about you need to buy CDs again? Daz Dillinger. He has a way you can order a CD. He signs everyone and mails it out to you like that. Mm-hmm. That ain't gonna last long, bro. That's cut that bullshit out. I know you're getting your money, but I ain't buying shit like that. I don't even want to hold the CD or none of that.
Where am I gonna play it? I don't got a CD. I don't even think I got a CD player. I just told you. I said I don't think I got a CD player in my car. You know, right. What I do got is a USB port. So you know, that's what or my phone.
I remember about 8 years ago, Big Bro came out here. He had the rental car, and I had a bunch of CDs. We're gonna listen to this music. So I get in the car, and I'm like, "Where the CD player? The car didn't even have a damn CD player." I felt like a fucking dinosaur, come on, man.
Exactly.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You pulled out the 8-track.
Oh my Lord.
You know I got a cassette player in my car. Come on now.
Oh, that's old school right there.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, so just wanted to give props to not EPMD, Erick Sermon as a producer and everything. I just think he's been influential. I think he's the blueprint of what producers need to be, not only in hip hop, because like I say, he did R&B and everything too. I know there's other producers that do that type of stuff, but he did a little better than not more consistently than people in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And he got one other thing I want to say too. He did get that big old deal from Clive Davis. What did he do for that?
No.
I'm gonna say that. Don't do that.
How dare
Clive Davis won't.
dare you? How dare you? How bloody dare you?
What did Clive Davis want?
Double. Come on now.
He's been a stand-up dude, pretty much the whole time, with the exception of that whole PMD robbery incident. You know what I'm saying? So,
oh, you think you're guilty on that?
Yeah. Trying to get his money, man.
Yeah, well, I ain't got no opinion on that one right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and check on out of here. Anyway, we'd like to thank y'all for coming back through the last show of the Spin That Back show where we talk about hip hop from 79 to 99.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Bring that in safely. Don't be out there drinking and driving and everything. Check us out. We will be back next year, 2020.
See you next year.
We're talking about the same old thing, 79 to 99. We give our props to our people our way. We reminisce, do what we do, and we're going to bring another show to you. So, that being said, we want to say peace.